I would get the comment, gosh, you play really good for a girl. Every once in a while, if I was feeling my oats, I would go up to some fellow drummer who was a boy or a man and say, gosh, you play really good for a boy.
In 1979, the notion of a woman sitting at a drum kit was very new. Here was Barbara Borden playing the kinds of rhythms that we associated with Art Blakey and Max Roach. We were all stunned by the fact that there was a women's jazz band on the scene. And here was alive with 4 instrumentalists and a remarkable vocalist. And there was Barbara Borden driving the beat from a drum kit. Such complicated polyrhythms in conjunction with what Carolyn Brandy was doing with hand percussion and the congas. It was a rhythm section like none of us had heard before.
I remember when I was a little girl, I always wanted to drum, but I just assumed that that was something that little girls didn't do, women didn't do. I never saw a woman drumming. It was always done by men. Barbara was one of the first. She was an innovator and a pioneer and a risk taker, and she led the way for other drummers.
I've been playing music all my life and loving it and had the most fun doing it and experienced so much joy, and so many situations were connecting for me and boundaryless and transcendent. I thought, well, perhaps music and drumming is my path. It has been my path, and I'm eternally grateful.
Barbara used to pound on pots and pans, and she really wanted a drum set, and she got this little toy drum, which my mother was very reluctant to get her, because, you know, kids have little stages that they go through, and you think, they're not serious about this. And Barbara was begging and begging to get a drum set. So my mother bought her the drum set, and then she got a drum teacher, and that was it.
When I got my first toy drum, it was a little tin drum with 2-sided paper drum head. I was in Sears Roebuck with my mom.
She bought me my first drum. I was 5 years old. Sears Roebuck, East LA, walking through the toy department. So shy, so round, chin tucked in and eyes looking down. A little girl in a blue and green check dress she doesn't like. She sees it, a toy drum. She sits down. She starts banging.
I insisted that I get that drum.
Mine, 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 mine.
Barbara has a vision of humanity, being able to reconnect with their roots. This vision goes way beyond herself, way beyond her immediate community, but reaches out to the world. She uses her drumming as an instrument of connectedness. In essence, a peace statement.
Peace is here. It lives inside us. Peace is here inside us.
We were only tuning up, just this regular little beat. But at the end of it, There was a feeling that came over all of us, and it seems that we just hit a high point. We became all one. It was a communication between us, and it was magic.
Music and dance and storytelling are about deep engagement with the great gift of life itself. The arts always transport us to something very deep that empowers and nurtures the human spirit or the soul that cannot be nurtured in any other way. Music always evokes memory and the imagination and touches every age. Music and dance and click sticks or the drum are ways of uplifting the human spirit and empowering the human spirit and strengthening the human spirit.
Music and drumming has a huge transformative component to it. You'll find that you get moved into an altered state, which actually is why so many indigenous cultures have used drumming as a focus of religious and community celebrations, ceremonies, and practices. "6 years to find your maker. 2 years to find your body. A dead cottonwood tree gave a piece of its trunk, your shell. A dead cow gave its skin, sound. An artist-inspired hands gave their labor. A community of friends gave their money. So you, heart drum, could be born." The heart drum was a very big spiritual teacher. The heart drum taught me about listening deeply, not to my mind, but to some other place. The heart drum taught me about community and how to be with people, all different kinds of people in larger numbers, and be inclusive. Drumming has become a movement and has become a culture. Drumming takes us to an alpha state, which is the meditative state. In our culture of high stress and much activity, drumming really brings you to that meditative place. And I do believe that's why so many people are drumming these days.
I go 1, 2, 3, 4, and then blah da da ba da ba da ba da 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 ba. Da 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 da. Da 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 da. Okay.
A lot of her teaching was how to work together with someone. So you build a relationship through the drumming and through the drums. It's not just you drumming, it's you interacting with other people who are drumming and really paying attention to the experience of the other drummers and how it fits together.
There's a way that she holds the space and brings joy to all the drumming that's contagious, and I think you can feel it in the room. What she taught me was so profound, how to stay present in my body while I'm with somebody else, to keep that fine balance.
Being here in Siberia, in Khakassia, on the land like this, has been a life-altering experience.
Heaven, I'm in heaven. Oh,
This is paradise.
oh, paradise on earth.
I've been drawn to Siberia and shamanism ever since I saw a photo of a Siberian shaman 20 years ago. Siberia is an ancient home of shamanism, and many shamans are women. Some of them are keepers of the drum, which they play for healing, ceremonies, and other spiritual work.
Shamanism is a very ecological practice because shamans work through nature and through the person's soul. A shaman tells us to live in peace with nature, to eat natural foods, and to love the natural world.
Finding Tatiana, who is just so loving, so open-hearted, so pure, so down to earth. The minute I saw her, I realized that we were connected deeply. This comes from many people. The first night that we were here on the land, I presented Tatiana with the drum that I've used for many years that came from Taos, New Mexico, from All One Tribe drums by the woman who had made the heart drum. People's names on the drum are friends or people that have supported me in my life in some way or another.
This is the most precious gift for a shaman, when so many people touch this drum. Imagine its power. When I beat this drum, I'll be thinking that somewhere out there is Barbara and many other people who presented me with this gift. And I'll always be wishing them happiness, health, an open heart, and a pure soul. I think I'm going to cry now.
And here I am halfway around the world with people I don't really speak the language of, but the language of the heart transcends all that. My friend Carolyn Brandy put on a drum camp for women called Born to Drum. At this camp, I met Susie Hawk, a member of the Suquamish tribe, and introduced her to the heart drum. She raised the question about where is the rightful place for a sacred instrument like the heart drum to be, not in a personal way, but in a very transpersonal way. It became very clear to me that that drum was to go with Susie and to go to the Suquamish people in the Northwest and be the heart drum there.
I could not believe that Barbara could let go of something that meant so much to her. And I said, "Are you sure you want to do that?" And she said, "Absolutely. It's just the right thing."
When I told Susie the drum was going to her, I didn't feel like I was losing the drum, but that I was gaining a larger community.
This heart drum is going to bring so much joy and so much happiness and so much togetherness and so much knowledge, education. It's got a mission, and I'm just really happy that I get to be a part of it.
The ceremony in Suquamish, it's a highlight of my life. It was so compelling and so strong, and the singing was so strong and so beautiful.
There's something that breaks down the barriers with drumming from a spiritual place for a spiritual purpose. There was a cultural empathy. Barbara could feel how healing and how important this drum would be in that community. And it was just the right thing to do.
I just wanted to put my hands up to you women that came here and touch this drum and let this drum touch you, and just the healing. I felt it. I don't know about you guys, but I was inside that heart.
I'm just grateful to all of you for being here so strongly. So I just thank Susie for putting all this together, and all of you for being here, and this beautiful ceremony for the drum that when I go home, all the people that have loved that drum and me will feel all of you. And I'll always carry you with me.
because this is now, I realize I've called this drum the heart drum, but now it is the strong heart drum.
Hey!
Very strong heart from all of your hearts. So thank you so much. I'm full of gratitude, and these tears are just overflowing love, is all they are. If a drum like this can be used to bring cultures together and hearts together, I can let the drum go as long as I know that's what it's doing.